Good morning, students. Hope you all are safe at home. I, Mrs. Sunita Pardesi, is going to teach you history. So, before starting this chapter, let's have a look at these images. Here are some ornaments, coins, artifacts, written material, clothes, weapons, etc. From these, we come to know about our history. History means past, and all these images give us knowledge about past. Therefore, they are known as sources of history. So, students, what do you mean by source? Source can be a place, person, or thing from which we obtain information about our history. So, sources of modern history is broadly categorized in four parts, namely oral sources, written sources, material sources, and audiovisual sources. In previous years, you have learnt about ancient India till independence of India. This year, we will study modern India in the post independence era, that is 1961 to 2000.
So, first one, that is written sources. The following sources are included in the written sources: newspapers, periodicals, diaries, reference books, correspondence, documents in the archives, government gazettes, postage stamp, encyclopedia, etc.
Periodicals may be magazines, newspapers, articles, or books which are published at regular intervals. For example, newspapers which are published on daily basis. These are some of the reference books.
Newspaper is one of the most important source of modern history. Just as newspapers are considered the fourth pillar of democracy in the modern period, they are also a major medium of information. Through newspapers, we can get information about national and international affairs, politics, arts, sports, literature, social and cultural affairs. Press Trust of India (PTI). After 1953, the Press Trust of India has been an important source of primary details of all important events and of articles on important subjects. PTI has now started its online service. During the 1990s, the PTI started using satellite broadcast technology instead of teleprinters to send news all over the country.
Do you know, students? Among the print media, the information contained in the annual issues of the publication division of the Government of India is authentic and trustworthy. For example, India 2000. Research, Reference and Training Department in the Information and Broadcasting Department of Indian Government published an annual reference book India 2000 in English and Hindi languages. It contains useful information about India. We find information about the land, its people, national emblems, environment, political system, agricultural, sport, health and water conservations. Such information help us to write history as it comes from authentic sources.
So, do you know, students, what is mean by archives? The place where historical documents are preserved is called archives. The main office of the National Archives of India is at New Delhi. It is the largest among the archives in Asia. Postage stamps. Postage stamps reveal a lot to us about changing times due to the variety in the sizes of the stamps, the novelty in their subjects and color schemes. There have been several changes in postage stamps since India became independent.
The postal department issues postage stamps on a wide variety of themes like political leaders, flowers, animals, birds or event or the silver, golden, diamond jubilee or centenary, bicentenary or
Tricentenary. Do you know, students? The Indian government issued the Jal Cooper stamp in 1977. Jal Cooper was known as international philatelist. What is meant by philatelist? That is an expert on the subject of postage stamps. He was born in a Parsi household in Mumbai. Cooper edited India's Stamp Journal. He was the founder of the first philatelic bureau in India, an office that collected stamps. He founded the Empire of Indian Philatelic Society. He went on to write many books on this subject. He played an important role in taking the study of Indian postage stamps to the international level. The postage stamps on Jal Cooper is an important source to understand his significant contribution to this field. So, students, after the written sources, come to the material sources. The following sources are included among the physical sources. In that, you can see coins, places of worship, things in daily use, royal seals, ornaments, museums, clothing, and modern architecture. Coins. We can also understand history with the help of coins and the changes in the printing of currency notes. Reserve Bank of India prints the notes. It has its headquarters in Mumbai. The coins from 1950 to those used at present, the metal used for making them, their different shapes, the diversity of subjects on them, together help us to understand the important contemporary issues in India. For examples, coins to convey the message of population control and coins communicating the importance of agriculture and of farmers. Museums. All states of India have museums that depict the characteristics and display the cultural and social heritage of the state. They enable us to understand history.
Things kept in the museum, like artifacts, weapons, clothes, ornaments, coins, etc., give us information about particular history.
For example, the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Museum at Mumbai, Reserve Bank Museum in Pune city. Apart from the government museums, some private collectors also set up their own museums. They are based on distinctive subjects. For example, coins, notes, lamps, and nutcrackers in different shapes, cricket equipments, etc. Now let's talk about oral sources. Folk songs and folk tales.
We generally hear folk songs and folk tales from our parents and grandparents, and they are passed over generation to generation.
Ballads, proverbs, and ovis. Ballads means narrative poems, and ovis means Marathi verses in the oral tradition. Activists were inspired by the Povadas.
Povadas that were particularly in Marathi language, like ballads, used to narrate battle or any event, as well as to praise the king. Also, the person who sings Povadas,
Is known as Shahir.
for example,
Shahir Amar Sheikh, Lok Shahir Anna Bhau Sathe, etc.
students, try this as an example of how some event gets reflected in literature and how a poet perceives that event. Study the poem Avahan, written on the backdrop of the Sino-Indian War by the noted Marathi poet Kusumagraj. Find pieces of literature based on contemporary events.
Now let's discuss about audiovisual sources. Television, films, internet are called audiovisual media. Many domestic and foreign television channels also come under this. For example, History Channel, Discovery Channel, etc. Film and Television Institute of India FTII. The Government of India started the Film and Television Institute of India at Pune in 1960 with the purpose of providing public education. An institute called Indian News Review has produced various newsreels on important events in politics, social issues, arts, sports, and culture. These news release and documentaries are useful for studying the history of modern India. So, students, till now we have seen some important sources for writing the history of modern India. The times in the 21st century are changing so rapidly that even these sources will prove to be inadequate. However, new sources are coming forth. For example, during the transformation from landline to cell phones, a gadget called pager came up for connecting people, but it died out as quickly as it had come up. Now it has become comparatively easy to study history with all these sources. As these sources are from contemporary period, they are easily available. Since a subject like history touches all the aspects of our life, efforts are being made at all levels. We must also contribute to these efforts. So students, today we learned different type of sources for the modern history. Hope you all understood it. Thank you. Take care.